Morning. Hello. How's it going? We're back. Another fine day game dev here. Happy Thursday. Hey, Adagon. Just finished my application to the indie game dev team. Sounds like they're kind of swamped with applications, so not really going to worry about it. But it seems cool. Yeah, I think that's good. I was weighing that up in my head. I was like, do I want to be on a small team or a big team? Like, what are the benefits of each? And then I was like, it's not like I'm spoiled for choice here. I might as well join this team. It seems like I looked at the member list so far, and I know a lot of I'm familiar with a lot of the devs at least. So I think that's cool. But yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping I get in. That'd be cool. Hey, Pheasant, SC2. Thanks for that. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to continue working on our undo functionality. We made this tile map snapshot class, which whenever we finish an edit is just going to take a picture, basically. It's going to pull out the tile map data for each layer in the structure of the ship and just collect them all together in one big tile map data packed byte array. And then when we need to, we'll slice them back out. All right, Adagon. No jazz. This is a cool one. So as far as we know, yesterday we finished all of the stuff necessary to record the tile history. The question is whether the rollback is going to work. So let's go through that. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to down here, when we hit the undo action, if our history index is greater than 0, 0 is the initial snapshot. Then we'll say for... Oh no, that doesn't make any sense. So we'll say... Are we going to do this? We need to do something like, what do we do? Where do we iterate through all of them? We iterate through when we do this. Tile history.append, take tile map snapshot. Oh, that's okay, we got it down here. All right. So that's take tile map snapshot. Maybe we'll call this one like... My backspace isn't working consistently. I'm very concerned about my keyboard. It's like an expensive keyboard. I have had it for a few years, I guess. Restore tile map snapshot? I don't know. Maybe we'll say that. I like... cursor thing isn't showing up either. Maybe the editor's just being weird. Caret type line. Yeah, oh well, who cares? Seems to be working even though I can't see it. kind of weird. So we're gonna say, are we gonna take anything? No, we're gonna say tile map snapshot. Yeah, this is actually kind of disorienting, not being able to see the line caret thing. Gonna be tile history index. I'm gonna say we're gonna do this part. We're gonna basically take this iteration loop. We're gonna say ship layer dot tile map data equals let's say something. No. Let's say that. Let's say tile map data ship layer just tile map data equals tile map snapshot dot slice layer data. We need a number. Oh, well, that's complicated. We just iterate. Hey, Kamatai Reaper, how's it going? We're working on an undo redo functionality for a little tile editor tool we're making that runs in game. How's your stuff going? I see your progress reports on the Bad Collective Discord. Looks good. I know you're working on a demo. How's that going? Alright, so we need to pass an index to the slice layer data. We don't really have one. Let me see. Ship layer, ship deck. We have the deck number. We could have it, we could say ship deck number times 4 plus layer number. We could say something like that. So we would have export variable here. Layer number. It'll be 0. It'll be 1. You're good? Yeah. Pretty good. There's always more to do. I made the stupid decision of, you know, making my own in-game tile map editor for this game, but there's a number of reasons why we want that. But it's definitely a lot. All right, so we can say here, we can say variable layer index, or we can say, yeah, we can say layer index. Layer index is ship deck dot deck number. That's a thing we have, right? A variable deck number, right? And that goes from 0 to 5. Okay. This is a little rough at the moment in that this limits the number of layers we can have to like a static number, but since everything's inherited, I think that's okay. That's something we can expect for now. We'll say layer index is ship deck dot deck number times 4 plus ship layer number. That should be okay. I'll say slice layer data layer index. I'm just going to say index. And this should just restore the previous. So we need to restore it. We'll have to deal with some branching, some management of the different branches. We'll say if history index is greater than 0, say history index minus equals 1. And then we'll say store tile map snapshot. And see how that works. I'm curious. Append is maybe not going to necessarily work. We're going to need something. We're going to need a check here that says something like if tile history size is greater than history index. Oh, we can fix that. Let's not worry about that. Let's just see if it works at all. Immediate crash. Can I get ship deck, ship layer? Oh, are we not even getting these? We need to get these values. So we'll do that. We can do that here. We can just keep going here. Ship deck in... Oh, maybe I wrote this wrong. For ship deck in ship hull.get children. Take tile map snapshot. Is this not going to be ready? Oh, I changed the name. I changed the name of a node. Starship. It's not great that we're doing it that way, but that's what we're going to do for now. We'll have like a dry dock node or something where like ships we're working on get spawned into. Shipyard, maybe. So that we have a consistent thing to reference. All right, so moment of truth here. Let's record something. And then let's control Z. All right, and nothing has happened. But no errors were encountered. Local variable layer data is declared but never used in the block. Let's see what we got going on here. Put a breakpoint here. History index is greater than 0. It should be. Should be as soon as we record something here. Where's the layer data being declared? Variable layer data equals active layer dot tilemap data. What is this for? That must have been for something I'm no longer using. We're gonna have to clean this up because we have like a separate way that this runs. So let's see if we even get to the undo. Control Z. Okay, so we get here. Let's check the values here. History index is still 0. That's a problem. Could be 1. Am I declaring history index as -1 to start? Yeah, I am. That's we'll do that. And then we'll say down here, we'll say history index plus equals 1. All right, now we should hit the horrible errors from trying to do this. So we've got our little layer we just painted. Oh, I added a breakpoint, but let's just double check. So history index is 1. Tile history. I'll be interested to see what happens when you try to push a blank tile map data back to tile map. You might need special language for that case. But let's see. Let's deal with that when we encounter it. Not presume. All right, so we painted a layer. Control Z. Oh, it's gone. A little bit of an awkwardness here. So let's do that again. Oh, and it works again. It's messing with our tile preview tool. So what's exactly happening? So we hit Control Z. There's nothing. Then I mouse over. Oh, and when oh. So this is just interfering with the hidden tile system. Is it? Doesn't totally make sense. Not totally sure what's going on there, but ostensibly this works. It's interesting that it lets us paint, erase, paint, erase, paint, erase. I didn't think that's how that would work with append. Let's do it a few times and take a look at the array length. Unless we just keep adding it back to that point of the index. Curious about that little ghost thing. Okay, so we've done this a bunch of times. Minimize it. Let's look at the remote tree. Tile history array size 6. What's the index at? The index should be at 0. Okay, so that's the main problem. So we need to just deal with that. So basically, if the tile history size is greater than our history index, we need to just trim the following branches. So that if you're like, so if you undo, you can redo as much as you want, but as soon as you paint something new, that branch is destroyed. So let's do that. So that logic would exist here. Here. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we need to get rid of, like this idea of the brush strokes. It's a really dumb way of doing this, but it seems to work. And it seems to work quite well. Even in the case where the snapshot is empty, it doesn't seem to have any problems. Tile map layer seems to be able to take empty tile map data is just fine. We don't have to call clear or anything special. So when we do this, instead of append, we need to do a check. We need to say if tile history dot size greater. Is this a callable? That is. We need to say if tile history dot size. So if the history index is 0, tile history is going to be, the tile history size is going to be 1. So it's going to be if tile history dot size is greater than history index. And history index +1 because we're indexing. Not having the line caret thing is really fucking with me right now. I might just close the engine and try to restart it and get it back. We'll wait till there's a commercial break to do that. Alright, if tile history size is greater than history index +1, so if the history runs longer than where we're at in history, then instead of append, we're going to do something. I need to look at what my options are with array. We basically want to like truncate the array beyond a certain index. We may need to grab a slice of it. Yeah, that might be what we do, is just take a slice of it. Don't see anything else. That would be the right call. Oh, we can create a typed array like this? Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's pretty fun. Okay, I'm glad I read through that. Thought I could only use the pre-existing, like, packed arrays. Which I guess is different than a custom typed array. Alright, so I think what we will do is just take a slice. Oh, am I doing this wrong somewhere else? Here begins. What do we say 0? I think I misread something where I thought these began at 1. Index in range, layer index, layer begins, plus equals, layers. Yeah, okay. Oopsies. Oh, ad's about to start. I will fix my editor, hopefully, once those are running. Oh, why did this fail this time? Maybe we did run into some issues. All right, let me fix this real quick. Alright, that looked like it fixed it. We are getting an error that we weren't getting before. But maybe it has to do with the slicing I was doing that was incorrect. So, what were we exactly working on? Oh yeah, so tile history greater than so we're going to take a slice. We're going to say tile history equals tile history dot slice. We're going to say 0. I'm going to say history index. And we'll just do this regardless. Seems like the simplest way to do that. Weird that we were getting those errors. I'm going to just do this small screen and see what we get. Okay, nothing happened this time. Concerning. But yeah, I did have the slice thing correct. mode tree. History index should be 1. Oh. This is it. Why are there 87 of you? Oh, 87 pages. Wait, what? Maybe more than I anticipated? Is that the right number? Starship has a hull. The hull has 6 decks. Each deck has 4 layers. That should be a different number. Should be 24 of these. Oh. Never mind. That was one pack. That was not letting me... Never mind. Forget it. Forget about it. Well, I did break something. Let's see. What did I break? I don't think taking the tile map snapshot is wrong. The restore, there's probably a problem with the restore here somewhere. Our index, so this index is correct. The deck number times 4 plus the layer number. Snapshot, file history index. Oh, we don't want the history index. Oh no, we're changing the history index first, and then we're restoring the tile map snapshot, I think. Forget about this for the moment. Let's see if we can get just the basic. We had it working. Oh, Lord. Wrong scene. Had that, and we did Control Z. Oh, that's fascinating. That's moved that to another layer. Maybe I did have the slice correct. Interesting. It restored it, but to the wrong layer is what it looked like it did. How's that possible? So we did this. We got that. And doing this should just undo it, but instead did something even stranger. Yeah, it restored it to the wall layer, which is one layer up. Fascinating. Did I not finish naming all of the layers or something? Or did I do it wrong? Layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Your deck number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been off by one error somewhere. So it's probably here in the layer begins. So I initially set this to be 1. I don't think is right. I think it starts at 0. And then for each index, layer begins. We add the size of the layer before it. And then layer ends is layer begins plus... What? This isn't right. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Layer begins. We got our starting index, and then we've got our own size. We just slice from the beginning to the end. So we're getting the correct data out of slice. The problem is we're reapplying it. We're reapplying it to the wrong tile map layer in the editor. So how are we doing that is a good question. Saying history index, restore tile map snapshot. Let's double check what's going on here. Tile map snapshot is the tile history for the history index. Yeah, that's correct. Ship deck in ship hall.getChildren. And then for layer in ship deck.getChildren. None of you have a child that's not the correct thing, right? Deck. Getting the right number. Index is the deck number times 4. That's right, because if it's 0, it's 5. 0, that's right. So for reasons I don't understand, when this was 1, when layer began at 1, that seemed to work. Let's just do that again and try to identify the problem here. Yeah, that worked. Sort of. Oh, but not for this layer. Interesting. Oh, that might be something else. That might be a different problem. Just start with this. Let's see if this works. Yeah, okay, so that works. This won't work. Oh, it shouldn't have worked. Okay, now it's working. So that's weird. The ghostly thing is strange. Let's do this, and then let's do this. Oh. No, so there's something weird happening. If we let's lay this, and then like this, and let's do this, and then we should be able to step back through each one sequentially, but instead it just deletes the floor. So interesting. Hey, Cubus. How's it going? All right, we're grappling with our little tile map snapshot slicing system. It's behaving a little weirdly. Supported tile map data format. Expected format ID lower or equal to 0. This is interesting. I wonder what this is. Yeah. Undo redo struggles. I wonder what exactly was triggering this. Get tile map layer for a moment. Yeah, we need... I think we're slicing it incorrectly somehow. Or restoring it incorrectly. We're definitely restoring it incorrectly at one point, because it's taking, like, the floor layer and putting it on the wall layer. Stuff like that is happening. I'm gonna go through and actually look at this and see if these... Look at the editable children. 2, 3... No, so you're taking these characteristics correctly. Fine. Okay, so we have the indexes correct here. So we should be counting the layers correctly. There must be a problem with how we're calculating the sizes, maybe? Map data dot size. Map data dot append array layer data. Oh. This is very wrong. Okay. Layer data dot size. Yeah, we were getting garbage numbers. Okay. Okay. We were adding the size of the overall tile map data every time we were adding to the tile map data here. When this is the list of the data we're actually supposed to... Oh, okay. Whoops. Well, for a minute I thought I was going insane, so I hope that's the problem. I hope that's the main problem. All right, let's see. Let's lay down this. Let's go back. Okay, we can't go back. It's unfortunate. But going back doesn't seem to do anything. So here's the funny thing though. If I go here and I have layer begins be 1, then I do this. Yeah, it's either going insane or a typo. That seems to always be it. So if we do it this way, Control Z. Oh, now it doesn't work at all. Okay. Are we getting an error though? We are. We're getting some errors. 64,000. Expected format ID lower or equal to 0. Maybe don't understand tilemap data enough to be doing what I'm doing. Nice layer data index. I don't think we get that if we set this back to 0. Let's see. Let's see if that's the case. We'll throw this up. B. Okay, so we don't get that. So that was incorrect to do that. So maybe there is an issue with trying to pass empty tilemap datas back. Maybe there's a bit of a problem. Layer data dot size. Layer begins. This looks good though. So we start with 0, and then for each index, counting up to the layer index we actually want, we just add the size of the layer. Because if the size of a layer is 1, then the next layer would begin at 1. And then layer ends is just the beginning of the layer that we've calculated, plus the size of the layer for this specific layer index. And then we slice from the beginning to the end. Oh, end is exclusive. Oh. That's not right. For us. Go up to append. Make sure when we're building this, we're building it correctly. Okay, well that's a problem. We want, so it's actually, so the end would actually be layer begins plus layer size. Oh no, that should be right. It begins, and there's 2 elements of the array. Then the end would be begins plus 2. Yeah, no, that's correct. So we should be getting the correct slices back out, as far as I can tell. But again, this might be failing in the cases where we're slicing, we're trying to take empty chunks out of it, out of the slice. Like blank. But maybe they're not blank. I don't think any of them are blank. Do a quick sanity check here. So let's run this. And let's go to the remote tree, ship editor, the ship editor. Let's look at tile history. Why are you 0? Well, that's a problem. At this point, it might be easier to go 3D. Well, I mean, we could just do the snapshot differently. We could just record the actual changes we make and the actual state. Like, we could just record, here's the tile that was there, here's the tile that's there now, and then just iterate through and undo. We could basically undo all of the activity. I thought it would be easier to take a snapshot and then just roll back to the previous snapshot. But our backup plan is to just very carefully record all of the changes and then just roll the individual changes back one by one. If we can't get this figured out, we'll do that. Oh, I had a thought and it's gone now. This should be doing something on ready. Why isn't this doing anything? Oh, well, that explains, like, a lot. History. Found another obvious problem. Can't just take tile map snapshot. We have to actually record that. It's gonna work now. All right, it's working. Sort of. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. All right, we got our snapshot. We got our incredibly heavy-handed cleaver of a snapshotting system. Do we have this part? We don't have this part, and yet it's working, and that is super perplexing to me. What's weird is that we're going backwards in history, and then we're appending things, and then we're going backwards in history. So I want to introduce this code, which I feel like will clean up the history tree. We'll see if it breaks anything. Chonky history. I know, it just has a full snapshot of the entire ship every time you make any change. But I wanted to do that because there's... I foresee some weird things that I might allow myself to do with this tool, like make changes to multiple layers at the same time. Like, what if I start drawing a set of floors and I go down a layer because I want the floors to match up across 2 layers? Should I let myself do that? If so, do I record multiple layers? Are, like, the edits layer intelligent? There were so many problems. I bet I could diff the data and save that, but that is something that we can apply to this system. This system is simple, but it's robust, and there is room to make it more efficient if necessary. Because, yeah, the worst case scenario is, like, you just keep... The history just is unbounded, and you just keep working on the ship, and eventually you just run out of memory, but that seems unlikely. Let me see how much space a single shot of the starship takes up. Just to guesstimate how big a problem that is. Oh, it's super smart. The blank tile map data takes up 0 space. So it's really packed intelligently. It is only taking up space when there's information there. That's so cool. I don't think we're gonna have memory issues with this. Time to ship it. Yeah, exactly. We're mostly done with this part. I'm a little weirded out that we didn't need this to get this working. Like, I'm a little weird that we're able to append an additional page of history every time. And I'm gonna try to break this right now, actually, just so I can understand where the failure point. Yeah, only place tiles are saved. Yeah, and the system is smart enough to be able to pick that apart. So that's really great. So let's say this, and then let's do this, and then let's do this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to undo that, do this, undo that. Aha, okay, yeah, so it is broken. Or we need to account for trimming the tree, which I thought we did. This should work now that I've added this tree trimming check. Oh, this is pretty sick. I thought this was going to be a bit harder. I mean, I say as I took like a day and a half to do it. But a day and a half for me is like 3 hours, so. Alright, let's do this. And then let's do this. Checking to see that we're trimming the history tree correctly. Okay, now it's broke. Nope. Okay, so that kind of worked weirdly. So I think we're trimming too much of it. Oh, because this is inclusive or exclusive, this needs to be history index +1, I think. Let's see if that was it. So we're going to do this. Then we're going to lay 1 wall. Then 2 walls. And then we're going to undo those 2 walls. And we'll place 2 new walls somewhere else. And then we're going to undo those. Sick. Sick. Undo functionality is done. Ship it. This is all we needed, was just to account for trimming the tree. You aren't even using Godot's undo redo object? Don't tell me there's an undo redo object. What the fuck even is that? Undo redo. Don't just go into a big project without understanding an engine. Provides a high-level interface for implementing undo and redo. What the shit is this? Undo redo works by registering methods and property changes inside actions. You can create an action, then provide ways to do and undo this action using function calls and property changes. Then commit the action. When an action is committed, all of the do methods will run. If the undo method is used, the undo methods will run. If the redo method is used, once again, all of the do methods will run. What the fuck is this? This is awesome. What's the intended usage of this? No, you're good. I wasn't even aware of this. When do they imagine this is useful? I mean, I could see it being useful all over the place. Oh, you can do some fancy stuff here, so you can like mess with the scene tree. So how would I even do this? Actions, huh? I have a list of actions. Create an action. That's what the editor itself uses? Yeah, that's what I'm getting from this. Hey, you know, Moth, we just finished an undo function for our tile set editor tool, and then Cubase came in and was like, wow, you're not even using the undo redo object, and I have like my mind is blown. I'm a little I can't visualize in my head how like the tree would get built if you're like doing a lot of... Wait, if you're making an editor plugin and want to integrate the editor's undo history, use editor undo redo manager instead. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't totally understand how we can do like complex undo redo trees here. Which it's not a complex tree, it's just there's a branch, which is the branch that we're on. But if you're registering multiple properties method which depend on one another, be aware that by default undo operations are called in the same order that they've been added. Therefore, instead of grouping do operation with their undo operations, it is better to group do on one side and undo on the other as shown. Let's see. Create object, add object to singleton, remove object from singleton, destroy that object. That's pretty effing cool is what that is. Yeah. Mind blown. So it looks like what this is like just like an interface to like simplify the like having actions that run both forwards and or backwards in time. Like, so you can say, this is what happens if I want to do something, and this is what happens if I want to undo something, which is why it's called the undo redo object, which is wild, and that is so cool. So how do we, so here's an example. So we've got node, so do something, undo something, undo redo, create action, move the node, undo redo, add do method, do something, undo redo, add undo method, do something, undo something, add do property, node position. Oh, property assignments too? Jeez. Undo redo, add undo property, node position, node position. Undo redo, commit action. So they've positioned this here as like a short-lived thing that you make. Almost like how you make a timer, maybe, or you make like a tween or something. Like it's like a short... This seems like they've made it to be like a short-lived object, which is interesting. Just, yeah. If this was a turn-based game, I would use this as the basis of a transaction system for sure. I don't think our game is turn-based. I was actually watching a lot of videos. Not a lot of. I watched one enormous video on FTL, Faster Than Light, yesterday. And they went into the exploitative shit people do with pausable real-time strategy games. And so I was like seeing all that, and I was like, should this be turn-based? Like, to avoid all of that degeneracy around like rapidly pausing and unpausing stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sold on making this game turn-based. I think some stuff would be better. I think it might be easier. It would be easier to get a grip mentally on everything that's going on. Like, hold on. Let me just run this script editor so that I can show it off to Enomoth here. So we've got all our different layers on our little editor tool. Let's say we make a floor. You're probably here the whole time and already saw this. And let's make a wall. Let's make another wall. Then let's undo that wall, undo that wall. Let's draw a new wall. Draw a new wall. Undo that wall, undo that wall. Undo the floor. Huzzah! So... well, we have the stack. So the stack is retained. We just don't have the redo part. So yeah, let's add the redo and then decide whether we want to like re-implement the entire thing using these undo redo objects. That might be good for readability. I would like to learn about it a little bit in case we do decide this game is turn-based. I don't want it to be turn-based because FTL is not turn-based, but Into the Breach is turn-based. And I'm a little worried there are going to be so many characters in this game that it'll be hard to keep... But I don't know. I kind of like the mental pressure of real-time games, pausable real-time games, where if you want to play no pause, you can play no pause, and that's like... I mean, Starship Captains don't get to pause. I was going to swear again. I'm like in a sweary mood. I'm trying to be good. I was going to be like, Captain Picard doesn't get to fucking pause. Like... Yeah, and the pruning is already handled. Oh, man, undo redo is so cool. But yeah, let's implement the redo stack real quick, the way we have it currently implemented. So we'll say... We'll put undo after redo, just in our stupid long list of elifs. Is action just pressed? Let's go get ship editor, redo action. Okay, so if we want to redo action, we would say if history index... Actually, we want to know if tile history dot size is greater than history index plus 1. Crash of the Titans. I haven't heard of that. The Simpsons episode. Crash of the Titans. Game? Turn-based tactics with trash animals? Oh, shit. Oh, this is super cute. This is... It's like a... Feels like almost like a turn-based, like, Oh, what was Andy Schatz's game? Something Tale. His, like, Xbox RTS game. A little turn-based tactical game. What are they doing? They're playing Tetris there or something? I love the way the levels slam down like that. Smart having the user interface not be pixel art. Have it just be native resolution. Oh, that's super cute. Oh, it's like brand new. I'm going to check that out later. Oh, it's early access. Okay. Nice. 96% is pretty good for an early access game. There and back again. Love it. Love to see it. Oh god, did they have level rotation? They did, didn't they? Jealous. That is going to complicate all of this. The idea that you can rotate the board and then do some action. So we're going to need an interface so that there's like one canonical tile map layer or tile map thing, understanding of what's happening, and then we're gonna need to. Yeah, that's gonna add a whole level of complexity to this that I don't want to think about right now. So let's say if tile history dot size is greater than history index plus 1. So if we have a history to restore, we can restore. So what do we do? What do we say? History index plus equals 1, and then we restore tile map snapshot. Restore tile map snapshot does not care about what snapshot we're using. I should arguably have a history index that we pass in, but whatever, who cares? Oh, Cubus, you're killing me. You think they are drawing all the tiles and stuff manually? Pain, but worth it for the animations, it seems. Yeah. Alright, Cubus redeemed the sit stand. So let me wheel my chair out of the way here. Alright, I hope you're happy. I'm standing now. I adjusted the desk. It seems like the right desk for standing now, too. My arms are in a good spot. My mic's in a good spot. The camera seems to be okay. Alright, I fixed it. I was having some problems having everything be the same level, whether I was standing or sitting. Seems good now. I see maybe I'm a little higher standing, but... Alright, let's see if this worked. You stand with your choices? Boy. Yeah, it is. It is. And I sit all day. I'm at this desk, like... I'm at this desk from, like... Usually from, like, 7 to 7. At this desk for, like, 12 hours a day, sometimes more. So, yeah, standing is healthy. Alright, so we've got our... let's undo... And then let's try to redo. That did not work. What happened? Let's do a couple more actions. Okay, so redo is doing the same thing as undo. Why is that? It should be sufficient to just be passing in a higher history index. But if you undo while dragging a wall, look. I haven't captured the edge cases, okay? I'll do what I can, but part of it is just going to be about, you know, not being a degenerate. Because this tool set is for me, so I'm going to have to be careful about degenerate edge cases. Eventually, we'll try to tighten... Excuse me. Eventually, we'll try to tighten up the tool so that it can be used more generally. Let me make sure I set up the input mapping correctly, because that could easily be wrong. Undo action is Control-Z. Redo action is either Control-Y or Control-Shift-Z. Okay, so that's good. So, history index plus equals 1. So if history.size greater than history index plus 1. So if we have more history, history index plus equals 1. Why is this not working? Make sure we're actually hitting what we're expecting to hit here. Well, no, we're not hitting it. We're hitting undo, not redo. Okay, let me see. Maybe it is working and I'm just not doing this correctly. Let's try Control Y. I don't like Control Y because Control Y is not easy for me to hit on this keyboard. Oh, we need to undo first. Crash. Oh no, breakpoint, but not a crash. So we're not picking the right history index is what I'm getting from this. Oh, it's working. Wait. How is it working? Okay, it's been working the whole time. The problem is with the input system. Yeah, so for some reason Control-Shift-Z is not registering as a separate command. But yeah, the undo-redo history totally works. Okay, I thought so. Blame the input manager. Yeah, I guess I don't get to have Control-Shift-Z. Why is that? Could work. Control plus Shift plus Z. Oh well, whatever, who cares? We'll just have it support Control Y. Oh, why can't I just delete this? There we go. We'll just live with Control Y. Oops. Okay, so we have undo redo. So we could easily spin these commands off into an undo redo object. What do we get for having an undo redo object? So it just maintains the tree itself, right? Like it remembers the history of actions. Does it remember the parameters that were passed to it? I guess it just very strictly does the thing, unrolls the thing, does the thing. Do, undo, commit action. So I can call this action once I've created it. Still not clear if I have to create the action every time. So on my button pressed, I would think that I would somewhere else have registered this action, and then on my button press I would have just called it. But I guess I need to get the node and then call. I don't know. It's an interesting. Try using the non-physical key. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Let's see. Less. What, the key label or the key code, I wonder? Key code? No, it doesn't seem to be helping. Too bad. Or at least that wasn't helping. Maybe if I switch it to this one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Control Z is eating the input before Control Shift Z is able to be recognized, because like Control Z is in Control Shift Z. It's not exactly how I would have expected it to work, but yeah. Okay, that's fine. So we just can't distinguish between actions that way. That's fine. I can always make it Control X or something. Like, eventually I want to have user bindable controls, and I can just change that. But we'll use Control Z, Control Y, physical for now. Right. All right, so that works. So yeah, what is the big advantage of switching to an undo redo object? Is committing action is interesting. We can see if we're undoing and redoing something. I'm unclear about the merging. Being able to get the version number is maybe interesting. As a simple check to see if something's changed from its saved version. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so it remembers what action we just did and it can undo it. So if I have multiple actions, it can go through different... That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm a little unclear about how I would implement the undo. Or at least I'm implementing the undo differently than just our snapshot dealio. I think this might be really good because it would give us the flexibility to track, because right now we're just changing the tile map data. But what if we make a change to the tile map layer that's not part of the tile map data? Like, what if we make a change? I don't know what what that would be, but I think I might switch over to one of these. But that would be a refactor that it seems like we can do. Oh, here we go. A reference. Adds a reference to an object that will be erased if the do history is deleted. This is useful for objects added by the do action and removed by the undo action. Oh, okay. This is kind of cool if we were painting over one tile map at a time, or one tile ID at a time, and one tile layer at a time. If we limited the ability to make changes to multiple layers at the same time, I think we could do something cool with this, because we could basically reference the previous. We could say, like, have a reference to the original object that was changed. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little confused about how I would go back and get information about the tile. So I think we'd still need to use our snapshot system. But yeah, it seems cool. It seems like a better interface for doing undo redo. And I feel like our current process is compatible with it, so we should probably implement this at some point. Pardon me. All right, but that can be a problem for another day. I think we have one more problem. Let me see if I can recreate it. So yeah. So when we undo, something is being recorded. It has something to do with the hidden tile that the tile preview overwrites, because we are just writing directly into the tile map when we do this. Try to understand what's happening here. Yeah, it has something to do with the snapshotting interacting with the tile preview. You might need to change how the tile preview works. We weirdly don't have this problem with the walls, it seems like. Just the floors. Weird that that's the case. Let me see if I can recreate it. Oh no, we have the problem here. Yeah, it has something to do with the hidden tile. Let's see, let's figure out. Why do you need info about the tiles in the undo? It would be like if we weren't using this snapshot. I mean, if we're changing a tile to a new tile, we need to know what tile we changed it from. So if you have an undo, you need to know what you're changing it back to, as I understand it. You should be able to have Control-Z and Control-Shift-Z at once without them colliding. Really not sure if they're colliding in any way. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that Control-Shift-Z seems to be calling undo instead of redo, even though we bound Control-Shift-Z to the redo. Could be like a weird key ghosting issue. I don't know. Gonna not worry about that for now. Maybe I just won't support compound like modifier keys. Maybe I'll just say you can have a modifier key, you just can't have multiple modifier keys until I can figure out why there's a problem. All right, so we need to do a couple of things. We need to get rid of this whole brush strokes concept, which is like our old history system. I'm just going to get rid of the reference to it and then see what starts yelling at me. Anything? No? We never implemented it fully? Good. But yeah, there's something wrong with this paint preview system, where it's interacting with the snapshot system in such a way. Yeah, because when we make a change... So if we make a change, we need to do something. Maybe it's the revealing the hidden tiles, because I think we're sending the correct tile map data to the snapshot. I think we're then trying to... Oh, hey, Spider Queen. Welcome to the chat. Good to have you here. Yeah, basically add both the previous state to undo and the next state for the changes between them to redo, and then you can just call undo and redo on the object and should manage between them. Yeah. Okay, so when I create the action, I need to... That's why people are creating the action every time. Is so they can pass the parameters to it, to the undo and the redo. That makes sense. Because we're allowing large-scale changes, like multiple tiles or multiple tile layers even, because I think if you define, like, here's a room that I want to just place down, like here's a room that I like, that would involve changing 3 or more or 4 tile layers. Possibly even layers on multiple levels. We've been working on an undo-redo scene today, Spider Queen. We've got it pretty much working now, where we can undo... We can undo whatever we want. We can redo it. Erase, undo that. Yeah, we're very stupidly making a... should work on multiple layers too. It shouldn't really care what layer we're on. What's really interesting is let's go up here and then let's say Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, yeah. So because we're taking the snapshot of multiple layers, we can just go around to whatever layer. Yeah, I think I want to use undo redo, but I think I want to continue to use the snapshot system. FTL-like in Godot, I do say. Thank you. Yeah, I think the placement methods might work. Placements as the do methods. Yeah, I think we're happy with this for now. I think what I would do is, at best, I might wrap this. I don't know. I think I also want to see what it would look like just saving the diffs for the snapshot system. If we were making a turn-based game, I would go way harder into that undo redo thing. I think that would be the basis of pretty much everything. I do want to learn about it. Because if I'm doing a jam game and I need to undo redo or something, I'm not going to make an undo redo system. Okay, so we need to figure out why our tile previewer is fighting with the undo redo. Because if we place this, we undo it, it remembers a tile here. And I'm just trying to mentally understand. Okay, it doesn't seem to be part of the snapshot because we did the snapshot again and it went away. Or we rolled forward and back a couple times and it got rid of it. So that's interesting. So we undo it, it's there. We redo it, and the erase mode is off, and then we undo it again. It's there. Okay, so it has to do... Yeah. I think the hidden tiles aren't being updated when we make a change or something. I don't know. I'm not actually sure what's going on. I think our tile preview system is pretty messy, and we probably want to rethink it to an extent. We need gameplay first. Yeah, probably just doesn't clear all previews. Yeah, that seems to be what's happening. What's weird is it's doing it a little weirdly. I'm just trying to watch the behavior so I can try to imagine what's happening. So what this does is it says, you know, what tile is the mouse cursor in? Let's preview whichever thing we have here. We can have a wall, we can have a floor. So if we paint this, that's good. It's all good. And then if we undo it, there's nothing. Then we move off, and all of a sudden, there's a permanent change now. Curious. And now, if I redo it, now there's a missing tile, which is even more curious. So when I undo and I restore a blank snapshot, it leaves a tile behind. And if I restore an intact or a filled snapshot, I don't know what you want to call it, but a snapshot with content, it leaves a void behind. It's very interesting. Let's think about that. How's your space game going, Spider Queen? Ours is very early days. We're like obsessed with tools and doing a bunch of work that we should probably not be doing. This is like a rough prototype spaceship that we have a cutaway tool to look through. We also need to get the cutaway tool working with the tile map editor, which is going to be... That is going to involve some interesting choices. Because you need to be able to see what you can draw. I think it should be okay, because the system strictly just erases tiles in front of your mouse cursor, and you can't... Well, you can draw in front of your mouse cursor. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't want to have a tile map layer that's like basically a pending layer that's separate from the actual one, but it might be a lot cleaner to just do that. To just have a pending layer that you're writing to with either the preview or when you're in the middle of a drag. So that, yeah, if we do something like Enomoth suggested, like what if you're dragging a wall and then you click the undo button or stuff like that. Because right now the preview layer is the same as the actual layer. Like there is no separate preview layer. And I'm a little concerned about continuing to manage that. It wouldn't be that bad to have a separate preview layer. We could even just have one that travels around with you. And that could be the grid layer thing that we draw. That could be the preview layer, and it travels around with you. And that's what you write to before you commit something. It's an idea. Hey, Forlansky, long time. How's it going? We're working on a little tile editor tool set, which stupidly works in-game. So we've got undo, got redo, got undo branches. Interesting. Interesting. Right now we have a ghost tile that's being left behind after we do an undo redo action. And it's being left behind something to do with either the preview or the hidden tile. What are we calling this? Paint preview at... Yeah, thanks. It's been a hard one so far. We're definitely doing it kind of a stupid way, but... definitely brute forcing ourselves through a lot of these problems. Yeah, no, that's really nice. I'm happy. It's been pretty quiet the last week or two. I know I'm like working on really boring stuff, and I'm sure it's mostly just people being busy, but it's really nice to see everybody. I know laying the groundwork like this is not exciting, but we're gonna have some really cool capabilities once it's done. I'm willing to do the like butterscotch shenanigans, like game changer style. Like those guys stopped working on their game for like 6 months to like make a tool that gave them like a 10x iteration speed up. I mean, we're not doing anything nearly that crazy, but I'm okay spending some time to work on tools that we're going to continue to use for like probably years. For what is likely to be years. All right. So there could be a couple of culprits here. It could be the tile reveal thing. I am tempted to just simplify all of this by having a preview layer that basically follows you and imitates whatever the active layer is. And we draw to the preview layer. There are some awkwardnesses that there could be. You can encounter some awkward things that way, but actually I think we might be okay because right now we have gaps between the layers. I don't know. Actually, we wouldn't be able to do the preview thing without still hiding what's underneath, huh? Or we'd still have weird z-indexing issues. Yeah, I think we need to figure out how to make it work while working by having just one working canvas. Like one layer that we're actively working on. We just need to be better about cleaning up. So we probably need to reset the preview or something when we restore a snapshot. What would be the safest way to do that? So again, we undo. What was hidden is now placed forever. We redo. Now it's empty. It seems like it's utilizing the previous state. So whenever we change the state, it's writing something here using the old state, which is the only explanation for how we can get a void like this that appears after we restore a snapshot. Let's just do something simple. Like, let's see. So paint preview, hidden tiles, let's get tile ID. So we record the hidden tile. Oh, I know exactly what it is. So when we do a paint preview, we record the hidden tile. And then when we move away, we try to reveal that hidden tile. And so when we paint it, so we need a different source of truth here. So we need to do something else. So instead of... we need to record in the hidden tiles a tile ID. Sort of. No, not a tile ID. We want to record a coordinate. So we actually don't need these to be dictionaries then. We just need an array of coordinates. We could also just reveal all hidden tiles anytime we're about to trigger a snapshot restoration. Let's try to do that first. See if that just works. Let's say reveal all hidden tiles. I will probably just fix it. I don't know if that's what we want to do as the main fix, but let's see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. It's because we cleared the hidden tile thing before we restore the snapshot. Work this way too? Yeah. Okay. So that works. Maybe we just do that for now. So we already clean up the hidden tiles whenever we place something. So I'm not like terribly concerned. a little confusing how this works, how this interacts sometimes. So yeah, it gets rid of... I don't want to get rid of the preview, is the thing. But I want to make sure that we're not accidentally... I think I want to change the concept of the hidden tile. Oh no, that won't work. Because the whole point of the hidden tile is that it remembers the history of what the tile was before the preview tile got slammed down. I was going to have the hidden tile reference look back at the tile map and say, you know, what should I be? But that won't work because you'll just get the preview tile. Actually, that's what we want. We want it to get the preview tile. Is that right? Let's try that. Let's try to do that. Let's change this whole idea here. What is a tile swap? All right, we're going to change it. We're going to see if we can do this a little differently. Because reveal all hidden tiles. Well, that is good. I kind of want to move away from the hidden tiles concept. I think we can do a preview without recording the hidden tiles. Not quite sure how. But I think we can lean on the snapshot system to do it. Maybe. I would need to know more about how they're encoded. To do that. Like, we have the tools because we have a snapshot, but I don't think that'll actually work. Maybe we can't do it better than this right now. Maybe we say reveal all hidden tiles, we restore the tile snapshot, and then maybe we say paint preview at mouse chords. Maybe we do it like this. So I want to be able to restore the paint preview as soon as we restore the snapshot. Maybe this is how we do it. I'm also tempted to throw the history index and make the changes in the restoration, but I guess you would need to know what direction and time you're doing. Yeah, it won't work. All right, let's see. Let's see if that works. Because the goal is to have the tile map preview immediately present. So, like, let's say we do this, and let's say we undo. Yeah, I like that. Because the way before, it was not retaining this tile map preview thing. All right, I like that. What if we do have it as an erase mark? Yep. All right. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, cool. We have undo redo. We have fairly unlimited undo redo capabilities now because of how brute force we did this. Yeah, the preview system doesn't really know about undo redo, but now it's just working around it. Class is getting kind of messy. So now we can do something easy like auto tiling. That's technically the next thing to do here. Because the whole point of doing this is so that when we're placing these, it's not obvious. Here we go. Let's do it like this. So, like, we don't want all of these outlines everywhere. we want the system to be able to tell which tile thing to put down. However, maybe we don't want to do that right now. We probably want to implement a saving and loading system for this. That's probably a higher priority. We also need to think about rotation, because if we rotate, we need to be able to... that is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to have to think about how to do that. How rotation is going to handle... maybe I don't allow rotation in the Starship editor for now. We still need to come up with a... I guess we'll pick... What we'll do is we'll pick a tile map direction that's the canonical... That is the definitive tile map direction. And then everything else will be a transformation based on that. Something like that. I don't know if that even makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe we have tile map layers that are the presentation. And then we have some kind of data structure that knows like there's supposed to be walls here. Because we're going to need to have the auto tiler pick the specific walls based on both the walls around it and the rotation. So that's complicated, and we're not going to do that right now. But I'm just happy with this. I'm happy with this stupid little thing that we've got. I kind of want to restrict the wall drawing. Instead of being an area, I kind of want to restrict the wall drawing to just be a line. Cool that this really doesn't care about what layers we're on. Like we're undo redoing the layer below it. Now we're up on this layer. Yeah, let's do that. That's I gotta wrap up in probably about 10 minutes, so let's constrain the wall placement to be a line. How are we gonna do that? And we're gonna need to think about the other issues. Cubus is right that we need to get gameplay going, so maybe we don't care about the auto tiler right now, and we just do the auto tiler a little later. I don't know, I'm torn on that. We definitely need saving and loading, so that's probably going to be the focus tomorrow. We'll be being able to save and load our ship designs. We need to be able to place doors. Oh, that's the thing. That's why we need auto tiling, is we need to be able to place doors. And the only way to be able to place a door is going to be, the door will be like, let's say you place a door. The door is going to need to change direction depending on which sides the walls are on. Or I'm going to need like different buttons for every possible door arrangement. I guess that might be the short-term solution, to add an object rotation button. Which I guess we'd want anyway for anything, for like scene collections or anything that is... Yeah, we'll just add a rotation. We'll add a rotate object button instead. It's going to be interesting. All right, so we're picking the stroke area here. We need to know what the brush is. And we can change our constraints based on that. Oh, being able to do a line with a wall is like a non-trivial problem, yeah. Because we would need to... So, like, if we place one, it would need to be able to stretch this way, like to the left or the right. And if you drag down, it will need to pick one of those. So how would it pick? On what basis would it decide which way the line goes? We could make it arbitrary in cases where it can't tell. Actually, I guess it should be fine. It would be whichever... It would be as soon as the area is greater than one tile. Like, as soon as you clip into this tile or clip into that tile, it could lock in that direction and say, okay, the wall can only go this way. That's an interesting problem. I'm gonna not drink my coffee. I like looked at it and I'm like, that is not gonna taste good. That is gonna be cold and not good. All right, so the stroke area, the brush stroke area. The case. So how do we do this? How do we want to do this? We'll constrain this if the active brush is a wall. Do that up here. So we'll say if active brush is brush Go just froze. Come on, Godot. There you go. So we'll constrain this. Else, do this. So if the brush is a wall, we're going to say stroke area equals rect to I. We need to say this as well. Mouse position, mouse coordinates. So we would say stroke area is a rect to I. Do this. Instead, we can just say mouse coords. Oh, no, this goes up here. Oops. Mouse coords 1. Oh, vector 2i 1. 2i dot 1. Okay, so we have our starting area, which is just a single tile. And what we're going to do, if we're using the wall brush, we're going to see we're going to restrict the movement in some way. We're going to need to see, so if the area is extending in the x-axis, we'll limit it to that. If it's extending into the y-axis, we'll limit it to that. We just need to figure out how we determine that. We're going to say something like what? Like if vector 2i we need to subtract the ends at from the starts at, from the starting point. So we'll say if this is not equal to vector 2i dot 0, now we could try to normalize it in some way, I guess. How do I get a vector 2i to have a unit length? It's 1 or 0. I guess I could just do the sign. Do something stupid like I could take the absolute value of the sign. That can't be the way that you're supposed to just get. Vec.normalize? Yeah, but I wanna there's no normalize on a vector 2i, right? Or is there? Doesn't look like there is. I mean, I could normalize it and then round it or whatever, right? Or normalize it and then seal it. Not seal. Seal wouldn't work. You'd have to round. Normalize and seal. What's better, normalize and seal or sign and then ABS? I don't think it matters. What basically Enamoth is we're trying to figure out whether a wall extends in the x-axis or the y-axis. So we're trying to figure that out. And as soon as it does, we're going to restrict it to only moving in that axis. But I'm trying to do it in such a way that you could also restore it. I'm going to say else. So if it's not 0, we will let it... Oh, we don't even need this then. We would just say this. Or no, we would say... Da, 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 da. Two I can't really be normalized unless it's completely along one axis. That's fine. That's not what we want to do. Yeah, I don't like using math. I'm surprisingly bad at math. I'm going to do my really stupid thing that I said I was going to do. I'm going to say if vector 2i dot... Why not declare it like this? No, I'd say vector 2i... Let's say this. Let's say variable. Let's say difference. I don't know. Is... And we'll say if the difference is not equal to 0, why are we expecting a ternary option? You just write axis. Axis. I prefer fur axis. Maybe that's Civ 7. So if the difference is not 0, the difference is 0, this actually, we don't need to use the regular thing. We just basically use the same thing up here. We just say rect2i is, say this again. Variable difference is vector 2i. Oh, there's not a parentheses. I was like, why does it think this is ternary? That's because I was missing a parenthesis. Isn't everything some kind of a quote from Futurama? All right, so if the difference is not equal to 0, now we need to pick the axis. So we could say if difference... Well, let's do the signed thing here because we just need it. We're going to say... This is going to be really stupid. So we're basically taking the ABS of the endpoint minus the start point, so the distance between the two as a vector. And then we're going to say... So we've got the absolute value of that. Oh, if we've already got the absolute value of that, then we can just take the sign. And we've got what we want. It'll either be 0, 1, it'll either be 0, or it'll be down, or it'll be, not down, up, or right. So difference, now we can actually just match the difference, huh? Match difference. We can even just match this. Don't even need to declare a variable. Let's say match. Let's match this. Then we'll say case vector 2i dot 0. Then run out of parentheses again. Not case. Just vector 2i dot 0. The dot product of vector could be what you need. Not sure what I'm trying to do. It could very well could be. We're just figuring out whether the selection area that the wall that the player is drawing is either currently 1 point, like they haven't gone in any direction, or if it extends along the x-axis or the y-axis. It seems like there's a million ways to skin a cat in this case. So if it's right, then we're going to limit stroke area to be... Okay, so now how do we do this? So if we want to limit its growth along that area... Oh, here's the problem. We need to defend against the case that it's just a box. This is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to prevent a box. So we actually can't just do it on this object, unless we're more careful about how we construct this. So we'll say mouse coords. And we will construct the stroke ends at... We'll use this as the way we constrain it. Oh no, that won't work either. Yeah, maybe dot is good. Yeah, dot product. One of the axes. Yeah, alright, you got it. You're right. I am so bad at vector math. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I have to fucking go. I have a meeting right now. We'll pick this up tomorrow. Forget about this, and we'll dot product Dave Why don't you place an empty rectangle instead? All 4 sides. Should be fast. Yeah, maybe. And who knew that drawing a line would be so tough for someone like me? Someone dumb. Yeah, there's a bunch of people here. This is really awesome. I have to run. If possible, we're gonna raid somebody. See who's doing Godot right now. Let's raid and run here. Jotson's making his awesome fishing game. We're gonna raid Jotson. Yeah. Wow, we both said it. I love Jotson. I love his ridiculous shipping game too. Thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow with more vector math that I hate. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out today. This has been a really great day. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time. Bye.